Welcome everybody to the end of day one here at New England Forest Rally. My name's Tiffany Stone. Alongside me is the ARA Competition Director, Preston Osborn. Preston, today has been a crazy day so far. We had 5 stages, stage 1 and 2, of course, the infamous Concord Pond with the jump where we saw so many people just hit that. And then of course, we had the longest stage, stage 5 today, 16 miles long. Walk us through kind of what was going on that you guys see from the competition side.
Of course, you know, Concord Pond is always a fan favorite, but I think the competitors like it just as much. You know, like you said, the big jumps, the high speed is something that everyone loves. You know, they go from that stage and stage 3, South Arm and Icicle Brook, they share a lot of the same stage but reversed, and that's still just as fast as stage but much more technical, so it really challenges the drivers a little differently.
And talking about some of the drivers, we are just seeing some drivers just consistently get better and better and faster on every stage. I mean, take 16-year-old Jack Redline. He's a part of the Hoonigan crew. He is a trophy truck driver, but Ken was like, hey, come out, drive the Kazi, let's see what you can do. And on stage 4, he moved up to 7. And I mean, he's just consistently getting better and better. And what does that say? You know, you used to be a co-driver. What does that say as a co-driver watching somebody just get faster and faster?
Yeah, of course. You know, I had to have conversations with Jax going into the race because, you know, maybe I shouldn't let a 16-year-old drive a car like that. But, you know, I'll say the level of maturity that he had and the conversations I had with him and certainly his experience with desert racing speaks for itself. And so he gets in the car and obviously can put down some fast times and show that he can handle that car. And I think it also is a credit to Michael Hordick, who stepped in the car with him as his co-driver, because same thing, very experienced, able to take a new young kid like that and really show him the ropes.
And talking about an experienced driver, David Higgins is back. And David Higgins is under the McKenna Motorsport tent with everybody. And it's really cool because we've talked to David before. You've actually raced against David. And he hasn't been in a rally car in almost 2 years. He was inducted into the Off-Road Motorsports Hall of Fame back in 2019. So that just shows you how great of a driver he is. You know, we had a chance to talk to him at the end of stage 2. He said, Tiffany, this car is actually kind of driving me. But if you're looking at the times, he's just getting better and better. And honestly, half a second behind Pastrana on one of the stages. So true testament of a driver skill right there. What do you see for the future of David going into tomorrow?
You know, having David back over here racing with us and just the field overall is so great for us to see, you know, at a race like this. And I really think it just shows that we're really getting some attention internationally. More people are coming over and racing. You know, even someone like Marty McCormick, who's racing in also Barry's Skoda, seem to be a lot of those, is so great to see.
And talking about that, I mean, he's been putting great stage times down. Another one, Joseph Burke. He's just been doing so great and just consistently. So these stages are fast. I mean, we did a little bit over 41 miles today, about 192 transit miles, a lot of transit miles. You used to co-drive with Cameron Steele. How do you keep a driver in that type of mode, especially when the transit miles are so far?
Of course, you know, every driver and co-driver are a little bit different, but really it's being able to turn it on and turn it off. You know, you get to the start of a stage, you've really got to turn it on, get yourself amped up and get going. But then you've got a long transit afterwards. So some people like music, some people like Red Bulls, you know, everyone's a little bit different, but you've really got to find what works for the team and make sure that you're able to get to that next stage after that long transit, turn it back on and get into race mode.
Well, we've always talked about weather. Obviously, it's a little overcast right now. Some rain came through. Leon Jordan said it's not actually going to change a lot of the recce notes that we've taken yesterday. But going with that, how much faster are these cars running on some of the stages? Because the weather is so cool, which is so different. Because 2 years ago, it was hot, it was humid, it was sticky. And now, I mean, I'm looking at it, we're at 61 degrees right now.
Yeah, you know, usually, like you say, it's a very hot race and can affect the performance of the cars, but because this is such a high-speed race, you know, any little bit of horsepower you can get helps. But at the same time, your tires are actually going to work a little bit differently depending on the road temperatures as well. So I know there was some discussion in the pits today about what tire selection was going to be best. And then, of course, the rain, you know, these roads tend to drain pretty well, and so it takes a lot for them to stay wet, but the nice thing is it knocked the dust down.
That's true. Now, going into the end of the day, obviously, the competition is stacked. The numbers and the stage times are so tight. I know you were just mentioning, how close is everybody really right now in the top 5, top 10?
Yeah, I mean, really we're talking 30 seconds split the top 5, which is so fun to see. And I think even going up to the top 6 or 7, we're still within a minute. And that's on the national side. Now, even on the regional side, we're seeing some very, very tight competition.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking the time, and make sure you guys check out the top 10. And finishing out the day, our top 10 are Barry McKenna, Ken Block, David Higgins, Travis Pastrana, Brandon Semenuk, Marty McCormack, Joseph Burke, Jax Redline, Paul Rowley, John Coyne.